Great. Okay, so listen, I'll turn it over to Eimear and Ronan.
Thank
and,
you so
and Joe.
much. And Joe, yeah, we're delighted to be here at Nala's event today. Some really great ideas there from Scott that we'll definitely be taking back. So thank you very much, Scott, for that. My name is Eimear O'Driscoll and I'm the Digital Transformation Lead with the National Learning Network. And as Colleen said, I'm joined here today by NLN's Senior Digital Officer, Ronan Fox, and Joe Farrell, a student from NLN Castlereagh. So if you don't know about us, the National Learning Network provides education and training for students with disabilities or those who need additional support. And today we'd like to share how our students have been working with instructors to co-create short videos. They've been building digital skills, confidence and creativity as well along the way. So the video editing tool we're going to be focusing on today is called Clipchamp. I always find that a little bit difficult to say. So it's Clipchamp, and it's one of the tools featured on the NLN Tech Wheel. So our Tech Wheel helps instructors and students to find the digital tools that work for them, and there's training and support on all of those tools as well built in. And today we just like to take a little bit of time to show you how co-creating videos works in NLN, how our students get involved and how it's supported learning in a really engaging way. So I'm going to ask Ronan to flip over to the next slide there, please. So we got a little bit carried away with the movie theme here on this slide, so apologies for that. But just to talk you through a little bit about what we'll be talking about in the session, I'm going to talk a little bit about co-creation in NLN. Then Ronan is going to be talking about creating videos, and he's going to give a live demo of Clipchamp. And Clipchamp is a free video editing tool that we use here in NLN, as I said. And after that, we have Joe, our fantastic NLN student from Castlereagh, and he's going to talk about his experience of creating videos and storyboarding them and planning them and working with the group up there in Castlereagh. And then this is my first and last movie quip. It'll be time to get the popcorn ready then, and we're going to watch some really fantastic short videos that have been created by students from NLN centres across the country. And then it's always important to have a bit of a takeaway to go away with from these sessions. So we put together some resources that hopefully will be helpful and that you can bring back to your own classroom. So Ronan's going to tell you how to get those at the end of the session. So just moving on to the next slide then, I'm just going to talk about what do we mean by co-creation. So for us, really, it's all about the magic that happens when students and instructors come together as equal partners. That's really important for us here in NLN, and I'm sure for all of you as well. It's about valuing everyone's unique perspective and combining our skills to create something truly special. So with co-creation, everyone's input is not only just welcome, it's also essential to make the process work. And it's a simple shift really, but we found that it really does change everything. We've seen that it gives students more ownership, more pride in their work, and more confidence to share their voice. So moving on to the next slide then, in NLN, co-creation happens in lots of different ways. We're a person-centred organisation, but the key really is that students are actively involved and they're not just completing tasks that have been set for them. So when it comes to things like making videos, that might mean students deciding whether or not they want to make a video, first of all, and then if they do decide to make a video, deciding what the video should be about, planning out what they want to say and taking part in the recording and the editing. We've had, people get involved in creating props for videos. We've had people acting as directors. We've had fabulous makeup artists and costume designers. So, we've kind of seen it is a real space for people to come together and bring their talents and really shine. And instructors are there, obviously, they're key to this. They're there to guide and to support, but it's the students who shape the content and decide how their message is shared. And we've seen that through this kind of hands-on involvement, students develop practical digital skills, which are really important in this age. But just as importantly, they build confidence, communication skills and a sense of ownership over their learning. And hopefully Joe will agree with me when he comes to his part that this is kind of all that's been happening. This is the feedback I suppose we've been hearing from the NLN centres across the country. So moving on to the next slide then. So, I think sometimes when you talk about co-creation, it seems like a really great idea, but it's not only just that. It's not just an idea. It's something that really works. It does take time and effort from students and instructors, and the support and the training and the tools. But we've seen the difference that it makes. We find that when students are involved in shaping their own learning, it becomes more meaningful and motivating. Students feel heard, and they can see that their ideas matter, which is what we're all about. And this approach builds pride, independence, and a willingness to try new things as well. We're going to play a very short 1-minute video now. It's a clip of Michael Meir. Michael is a student from NLN Limerick, and he can speak about co-creation in a way that's far more eloquent than me. So we're going to play that now, just so you can hear from one of our students talking about why they think co-creation is important.
Perfect. Eimear, you might just let me know if sound is coming through. I have included sound, so.
Great, thanks. Hopefully everyone heard that. I could hear it okay on my side anyway. But yeah, some really powerful words from Michael there. And as we always say, I think our students really get to the heart of what we're trying to say. So we try and include their voices there as much as possible. And moving on to my last slide then, and before we get on to the fun business of Clipchamp. So some of the videos that we're going to show later on, they were created as part of NLN's involvement in the Volt Erasmus Plus project, which explored how video and co-creation can support inclusive learner-led education. And as part of that work, the group created 3 practical resources, and Ronan will be sharing these as part of the folder. He's going to share it later on at the end of the session. But just to call out what they are, because hopefully they might be useful for some people. So the first is a staff guide, and it has tips for educators on supporting students to create their own videos using Clipchamp. The second then is a learner toolkit with really useful worksheets that take students through the steps of planning, recording and editing. So they're very step by step, and they were informed by student feedback. And then finally we have the Volt website, which is very exciting, and Ronan will share the link to that as well, or I might do it actually now after this. And this website was set up to showcase the learner creative videos from not only from our students in NLN, but also from 4 other partner organizations across Europe. So, there's some really fantastic videos up there, and I think it's a great opportunity as well for students to showcase the fantastic work they've done on a website that's seen by people across Europe anyway, and hopefully across the world as well. So all of these resources are free, they're practical, and they're ready to use. So whether you've already been involved in creating videos with your students, or whether you're just starting out, it's a great place to start. So now I'm just going to hand over to Ronan, as I said, to talk about the fun stuff that Clipchamp has to offer, and hopefully show you how easy it is to use. And I'm not hugely technical, and I even have created a few videos using it, so I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you so much, Eimear, and welcome everyone. So first off, I'm going to talk a little bit about Clipchamp. This is our go-to video editing app within the National Learning Network. It's great for creating quick, polished videos with minimal fuss. So what is Clipchamp? Well, first of all, it's free, which is always good. It's browser based, which means that you don't need to install anything on your devices. There is the option of a desktop version in case your internet goes down, which we all know can happen from time to time. But we use it within the browser. It works on all devices, including phones, tablets, and laptops. So you can really edit and create videos wherever or whenever you like. It is designed to be super user friendly, and you can drag and drop your clips, trim footage, add titles, music, and effects, all with just a few clicks. And I'll be showing you that in just a few minutes. And like I said, what makes this like a really great application is you don't need to download or install any software. As long as you have an internet connection, you're good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop the presentation for a second, and I'm going to share my screen and show you Clipchamp and just kind of run you through some of the basic features and kind of give you an idea of how you would get started in creating your first video. So I'll just give that a second to load in.
Yeah, we can see it there, Ronan.
Perfect. So how you get to Clipchamp is, as Eimear mentioned, it's part of the Microsoft 365 suite of applications. But if you don't have a Microsoft account, you can still access it by going to www.clipchamp.com. You'll see here that there's a sign in button up in the top right hand corner. This will bring you to a sign in page where you will add in an email address, and you will then get access to Clipchamp. So when I sign in, it's actually just going to automatically sign me into Clipchamp. And this is the home page of Clipchamp once you have your account set up. There's a couple of options here, but I'm just going to be choosing one today, which is going to be create a new video. There's also create a video with AI, as our last presenter was speaking about. So AI seems to be ingrained in everything in today. So this feature, you can add some clips in and it will actually create a video depending on the prompt that you give it. So if we go to create a new video, we're going to be greeted by the Clipchamp interface, and this is the workspace that you would start creating your videos, adding in text, images, and any sort of other effects that you want to add to your video. It's a really simple interface. So along the left hand side, you have all your features. So your media, where you can upload all your video clips. This record and create feature is really handy as well. You can actually use the camera on a laptop or a tablet and just directly record, and then it will add it straight into Clipchamp, and then you can start editing. You can also record your screen. So if you're doing, some sort of guide that you want to record your screen, you can use the screen grab. And there's also audio recorder as well if you are recording an audio podcast. And then there's also a text to speech right at the bottom here for accessibility. If we go to the content library, there is lots of content within Clipchamp, and that's what I really like about this application is you don't need to go and get content from other sources. Everything is really ingrained in the Clipchamp software here. So what I'm going to show you in a few minutes is kind of grabbing your first video clip, and then we're going to do some really basic edits there. But I'm just going to keep working down through the left-hand side here. So here we have the text feature, so we can add text overlay on any of our videos, and there's some really nice presets here that we can use. There's also templates here as well that you can use, so it kind of builds on a template, whether it's creating a video for a mobile phone that will set the mobile phone resolution, creating a YouTube video which will give you like subscribe now, and you can kind of look through these and grab a template that might suit the video that you're working on. Transitions is the effect of going from one scene to another, so I'll demonstrate that in a second. And then the very last one here is brand kit. That's a premium feature. If you have a brand that you want to keep everything in the same place and use it for every video, that's where you would add all those assets to the brand kit. So for now, I have 2 video clips here, and a piece of music. So if we want to add a video clip into our timeline, which is this area at the bottom of the Clipchamp interface, there's two ways that we can do it. Like I said, there's a drag and drop feature where we can drag and drop our video clip onto our timeline, and that will allow us to view the video then once it stops buffering. Or another way that we can do it is just by adding to timeline. It's the little green plus symbol here, and that will do the same thing. We can add it to the timeline like that. So if I just bring the playhead right back to the start and click play, you'll see that it's playing that video of a lovely sunset over a lake. And this is a great way of just getting used to the program. You don't need to add any of your own video clips. You can sign up and just start, adding these clips yourself, and then making some edits to this. So before we start adding music and text, how would we edit this video clip here at the bottom? Well, there's a couple of features built into Clipchamp. So we can trim the video clip, meaning that we can shorten the clip either by bringing the end towards the middle or the start towards the middle. So if we wanted to bring this clip down to, let's say, 6 seconds, I would grab the end and bring it down to 6 seconds. Now our video clip is not 10 seconds, it's 6 seconds. Another feature as well is also the cut feature. So if we were to bring our playhead to 2 seconds and we wanted to cut out between 2 seconds and 4 seconds, we would bring the playhead to 2 seconds, and then this little scissors icon here that says split, that will actually split the clip into 2 parts. So if there is a clip that you're after recording and there's a piece in the middle that you want removed, you can just bring the playhead to that area, click split, and then I'm also going to bring it to the 4-second mark, like I said, because we want to remove between 2 and 4, and also split that as well. And then we can grab that clip in the middle, click delete, and that will delete that area. And then we can just bring our clip back to meet the starting clip here. So I'm going to stretch out that clip once more, so it's not edited at all. And we're going to add some music. So I've got this really nice piece of music here. All these can be accessed in the content library. So the reason why I have them here is sometimes they can take a little bit of time to load, but I'll just show you how to access all that content. So if I go into content library, you'll see here at the very top it says audio and visuals. So audio is all your music and your sound effects, and then visuals will give you all your visual effects that you have, and it also gives you sample videos that you can use to explore the application on your own. The only thing that I'll tell you to be aware of is if you don't have the premium version, you'll see this diamond symbol pop up every so often. This is for the premium version. So if you're using anything, make sure that you're using a clip that doesn't have the diamond and the premium feature. But there's lots of free resources here that you can use. So I'm going to go back to my media, and like I said, this is the piece of music that I want to add. And the way it works is, this is the same with every video editing software, is the audio is always underneath your video clip because it doesn't need to be a visual. And then anything that needs to be over your video clip, like for example text, would be on the top layer. If we had text on the bottom layer, that means it would be behind the video clip and we wouldn't see it. So I'm going to add the audio to the bottom of our video clip. I'm just going to zoom out here in the bottom right hand corner. You'll see the zoom features, and just bring that audio right back to the end of our video clip. And as you can see here, we have our video and we have our music underneath it. And then if we click play, we have some nice music now over our video clip. And then the next feature or effect that I want to add in is a text effect. So if I go to, like I said, on the left hand side, the text feature, we can add in any of these can be used. This fade one might work well. So again, we can drag and drop and make sure it's on the top layer, or we can click the plus symbol here and that will add it to timeline. So I'm just going to drag that over here. And as you can see, the fade effect is after coming up. And if we want to edit the text then in our text, we can click on it, and that will open up some features on the right hand side of the screen. So for accessibility, you can add closed captions to your video. If we click the text feature here, we can actually edit the text, and I'll just say sunset. We can change the font. We can make it bigger or smaller. We can change the color, and we can change the alignment as well. But for now, I'm just going to leave it like that and see what that looks like. And as you can see, we've added the text. When our video is complete, we can go to the top right hand corner. It's a purple button up in the top right hand corner called Export. You'll see here that we don't have 4K, but 1080p is pretty much industry standard and will be high enough quality for most uses. So we would click 1080p. You can see our video is rendering on the right hand side, and then we have a couple of options. We can rename our video by clicking the little pen icon here and clicking rename. We can save to the computer, or down here we've got a couple of other areas that we can save to. We can save to OneDrive. We can upload to our Google Drive. You can upload directly to YouTube for any YouTubers out there, TikTok, Dropbox, and you can also share the video directly to LinkedIn as well. And that's really kind of getting started with your first video clip. Definitely recommend open it up, trying it out with all the free assets that you have, and then maybe creating something out of your own video clips. So I'll just stop sharing and I'll go back to the presentation. So now that we've kind of looked at Clipchamp and how accessible and easy it is to use, and you will, with video editing, it is a skill that takes a little bit of time to get used to, and the more times you do it, the better it becomes. There's no kind of quick fix on becoming a better editor apart from practice. So we're going to now look at how students can use Clipchamp as part of a simple structured video editing and making process. The workflow follows 4 key steps, which is plan, create, edit, and share. So first of all, the planning. Students begin by brainstorming ideas. This might be around a topic they're exploring in class and sketching out a basic storyboard to map their video. Next is creating. So they'll record their footage using phones, tablets, or even webcams. This step can be done solo or in groups, and we've seen, and I'll talk to Joe about it in a couple of slides as well, about the kind of teamwork around creating videos like this. We've seen that some students prefer to be part of the planning process. Some students love creating. We have some phenomenal editors within NLN that have created some, really top quality movie style videos that we'll be showcasing today as well. So there's a part on the team for everyone. Then it comes to the editing. So this is where Clipchamp really shines. Students can cut and trim clips, add music, insert titles, and use transitions, all within a simple, intuitive interface. It's accessible and beginner friendly, even for those with no prior editing experience. And then finally, there's the sharing part of the workflow. So once the video is finished, students can export it, like I showed you, and present it in class, or it can be part of a wider showcase like we're going to show today. It can be shared online or screened at an event. So this workflow gives students a clear and creative path to follow from first idea to final product. So I'd like to invite Joe from the NLN in Castlereagh to speak about his experience with co-creating a video for our new online student Clip Champ course. Thanks so much for joining us today, and hope you're keeping very well.
Yeah, not too bad now. Bit thunderstormy here in Roscommon, but other than that, we're grand.
Same as that.
Yeah.
Good to be inside. So,
Good, yes.
Joe, I'll kind of run through a couple of quick questions, but again, if you want to kind of jump in at any stage, just you work away. But can you kind of walk us through the journey from, I suppose, the first idea to the finished video of the one that you created? And we will be showcasing that video in just a few moments.
Yeah, we were kind of all big group of us. We were asked, would you like to? It started as the secret sort of thing they were doing behind the scenes, and then it was given to us as this video editing, and we were given the software and given the brief, and we were kind of let run wild from there. We were shown on the NLN website, which is our kind of bespoke learning, which has all our resources for us in studying. So that had a course on ClipChamp, and it's a very easy sort of system to use. You saw Ronan's demonstration there. It's click and drag and drop, and we were at the races.
And prior to using ClipChamp and undertaking this project, had you had any editing skills prior?
No filming, no editing. We were all pretty much going in blind. Some had skills or were acting when they were younger, things like that, but most of us were.
Most of the class were beginners to editing. Yeah. So ClipChamp was a really easy application to kind of get your head around at the start and to work with.
Yeah, because thinking about video editing and all that stuff, I was under the impression that it was far more difficult than it was, and you needed proper, expensive, powerful computers. But yeah, ClipChamp's all web-based, and you log in with your student account and you're off and going, and it's
perfect.
It takes about 5-10 minutes to learn how to use it, and you're able to do whatever you want from there.
Brilliant. So what skills do you feel like you developed the most while working on this project?
I say, well, there's a list of skills there. My number one was the editing skills and tech side of it. It was, I found myself as I'm not great at creativity and teamwork, but I felt like I shone there at putting together. We started off, we were allowed to just make whatever we wanted, and that was a bit of crack, and we were able to sit down and we all had these little videos that we put together, and that was a bit of fun to start off with. And then we got into the more serious bit of the making the full video that you see at the end here, and
yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
And was there a moment in the process where you faced any challenges, and kind of how did you work through those challenges?
Yeah, look, we were given lots of freedom, so it was at one point we were left thinking just getting that initial ideas rolling was a bit challenging, and we were working with a big group as well, so trying to just schedules and people being in at different times, it was hard to fully organize. But once we got everything around and got that first idea, the ball just kept rolling and rolling, and we were able to work away and get it done.
So either kind of good or tricky, were there any surprises about using ClipChamp?
Just how easy it is to pull together. It's like dragging and dropping, and you're clipping, and it works out. It's very satisfying as you work it. It becomes the work process is easier than you think. Like, it's almost easier than using Microsoft Word or those sorts of applications. It's far more intuitive and
brilliant. We'll have to be careful Microsoft don't take you in to be a promoter for them. But I totally agree, Joe. I think ClipChamp is such a fantastic tool, because video editing, like you said, it can be quite daunting to think, oh, I have to edit this video and I have to create. But when the application almost makes the process easier, that really helps the project. And I think we'll show that video in a few moments, and it's a fantastic video created. And what I really like about the video is no prior experience from any of the students with video editing, which is amazing that you actually were able to create something of this quality with no prior experience. So how did you feel when you seen the finished video being used on the NLN platform to promote the ClipChamp course?
Yeah, it was almost surreal to think that how well it turned out, and how, because everyone put in work, and it was a lot of work from a lot of people, and people were using their different skills and different, some people are better at planning and organizing and others at the editing and acting part. So it was great for the whole class that we were able to pull together and see it up at the website and be really proud of what we did together.
Yeah, brilliant, Joe. So just a few more questions for you. I'd definitely be sitting here talking to you all day if it was my decision, but yeah, the second last question is, would you encourage, other organizations or students to get involved with kind of co-creating like this, and why would that be?
Yeah, it's a really interesting way to learn. Especially in an adult training center like we are, you gain that individuality and sense of sort of, you're doing it for yourself. You're not being forced to do something or sat down and someone will get up behind you if you don't get on with the work. It allows you that freedom and to work how you want to, and you're able to see maybe a path of getting the work done that in a more structured environment wouldn't come out, and it wouldn't play to your strengths.
Perfect. And yeah, like any last words from you, Joe, and we'll kind of move on and show the amazing work done by the students there in Castlereagh.
Amazing's a bit of a stretch. It's all right. It's yeah, no, it worked well, and we're happy. We're really happy with how it turned out.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. It was a real privilege to talk to you as always, Joe. And yeah, hopefully you can kind of stick around and maybe answer a few questions. I'll be here to support you all the way. And yeah, really appreciate it. Lots of hand claps in the chat there for you, Joe. So thanks a million.
Perfect. Cheers. I'll stick around anyway. So.
Yeah, thanks so much. So yeah, that's Joe, one of our amazing NLN students in the Castlereagh Centre. And yeah, we're kind of a little bit tight for time here. So if we can't show all of these videos, I definitely want to show the one that Joe was involved with. So one of the most powerful parts of using ClipChamp in our learning environments is being able to showcase the creative work, that our students create. So here are a few standout projects that highlight the range of what's possible with ClipChamp. The first one is the ClipChamp Creators course video. This was made by Joe and the students of Castlereagh to document their experience with learning ClipChamp, and then it was also used to promote the ClipChamp course on NLN. So I'll just show you that one first and let me know if sound is coming through.
Drum roll, please.
So an amazing video there by the students of NLN Castlereagh. So thank you so much, guys, for that one. And you heard Joe there at the end with a great voiceover. So thanks everyone for that one. The next video is a promotional video created by the students at Clonmel NLN to showcase their own learning environment. And it's a great example of digital storytelling with a local impact. So again, an amazing piece of work there done by the students of Clonmel NLN, and this video is actually used now to promote the centre and to share it, to the local community. And I've been told that it's worked really well to actually allowing people to know what we do within the National Learning Network, and has got lots of visitors because of it. So the next one is a little bit different. So it's a fun and creative ad made by Stephen, an NLN student in Mullingar, and this is part of his QQI Level 4 Digital Media course. This project shows how students can simulate real-world marketing using Clipchamp. So this one is an interesting one. And last but not least, I did want to showcase this final video. It was created by Philip, another NLN student, and it actually helped Philip to apply for a video editing program, a level 7 video editing program that he's now in at the moment. And Philip had a real passion for video editing even prior to coming to NLN, and he used those skills and built on those skills when we introduced Clipchamp into the centres, and this is what he came up with. So this is an advert for a made-up film studio, and this is the video that he sent to the college when he was applying. So an absolute phenomenal piece of work there from Philip, and again, all the students you've seen there got involved, and it's that's a real display of somebody that has editing skills that he's practiced, he's worked on, and what happens within the National Learning Network is these skills are just increased when we introduce applications like Clipchamp. So we're just coming to the very end. I know we're a little bit ahead of or a little bit late on kind of our finishing up time. But here's a QR code with lots of resources that you can take home. In the folder, you'll find the worksheets that Eimear spoke about at the start. These include video planning worksheets, as well as equipment planning and filming. I've also added a short guide on how to use Clipchamp. Sometimes when you do a live demonstration like that, there's lots of features that you need to go through. So there's a video guide in there that you can view at your own leisure. And I'll just leave that open for 30 seconds so everyone can access it. You should be able to get access without actually signing into Outlook. I've kind of set it up that way, so let me know if that's accessible.
Listen, great. Thanks so much, guys. It was fantastic. I think you're probably doing marketing people out of jobs in the NLN, just with all the tremendous kind of co-created and student-created resources. They're really fantastic. So really, I'm just going to open it up as well. I know there's been a lot of kind of congratulations in the chat. As I said, you've given people loads of ideas, and it's great to have kind of that link to the resources. Just before we maybe take a bit of a break, and get people off their screens for a little bit. Does anybody have any questions for the crew from NLN? Any hands? They're just stunned with the creativity and the breadth of stuff.
I've been answering a few there in the chat, so hopefully
Thanks, Eimear.
has answered
Okay,
questions. But yeah, just a huge thanks to Nala for having us here today, and I think a special thanks to Joe and to everyone in Castlereagh, because that was fantastic to hear from Joe and hear about his experience.
It's really great. I was really impressed with all the music. I think it was much needed on a bit of a grey, thundery day. So whoever was responsible for the music, a special congratulations, much needed.
Yeah, I'll just echo what Eimear said there. Just thanks a million for having us today. It's great to be able to represent, especially the students of the National Learning Network and the work that's been done within the centres. And thank you to Joe as well. This is his second event, so I think he's getting quite experienced with these, and really appreciate thanks to Joe and Stephen, his instructor, which has been who's been a great support for Joe, and well done to everyone. Well done to all the students that were involved with the video making, but particularly well done to Joe and the video that was shown here today. So thanks everyone.
We'll have to bring you guys back and see. It's really interesting to see kind of the journey that people have gone on in terms of joining, and then like what's come out the other side. And as you're saying, like the spin-offs in terms of where it's taken people and their learning journeys and their professional journeys. So we might have to invite you back, Joe, and see where you are in a year's time with all your, video editing skills. Great. Okay, well, listen, I think Fergus has sent